a baton workout. If you don't have a baton, you can use a wooden spoon, a rolling pin or a scarf. Twisted. Keep a little tension if you're using a scarf. Just sliding the hands along the thighs to start with. If you're using a scarf, it should be taut. Take the arms a little higher. If you can, take it to shoulder height. If that's not comfortable for you, just keep the arms at whatever level is comfortable for you. Well done. Okay, keep breathing, sitting tall, chin retracted. We're going to take it to a circle, round. You don't have to be in time, just do what feels good for you. Other way. Last one, we're going to take it to a row on the right. So row, row. Last one, change sides. So you're pulling with that hand. It's on the bottom. 3, 4. Keep it smaller if you need to. Let's do singles and row. Pretend we're on the canal, out in the fresh air. Take it back to that push. And again, if that's uncomfortable on your arms, you can take it a little bit lower. Well done. So this is our warm-up exercise. I need you to hip walk forward in your chair. Think of your posture. Pull your tummy in, shoulders back, chin retracted. Start rugging the shoulders. Change to the feet, let's touch the toes out in front. Just a little movement for now, we're still warming up. Back to the shoulders, we're going to circle them back, circle. So as you circle back, squeeze those shoulder blades together. It doesn't have to be in time with the music. To your right foot, we're going to heel and turn, heel and turn. 3, 2, 1, and change sides. Heel and turn. 3, 2, come back. Let's do alternating shoulder shrugs. And the other side. So a little lean over. Twist from the waist. Doesn't have to be very big. Lifting the heels, alternate right and left. Okay. 2 heels together. Take the feet to do that too, and in, and around. So the next exercise is a scarf routine, holding your scarf in the middle if it's long, so that you've got a little bit of movement. In your right hand, we're going to start with toe taps. Just tapping the toes, just lifting and lowering the toes, in time with the music if you can. Keep the movement smaller if you need to. Sitting tall, forward on your chair so that you've got the movement. Let's start with an infinity sign, figure of 8 on the side. If you can make it nice and big and move the body, great. If not, just do what you can. Okay, Left leg comes out in front. And sliding the other hand the opposite way if you can. Don't worry if you've not got it the same way. It really doesn't matter, just getting the movement. If you're happy, have both arms going. Let's take it to a comb the hair. So those that aren't happy with this, if it's too much for your shoulders, just take it to a nice up and down with the hand. Take it across to the other hand, circling, or figure of 8. Forward and back. So as your right foot is forward, scarf's in the left hand. Don't worry if you're the opposite way round, it's not the end of the world as long as you do both sides. Just comb that hair or do your little mini bicep curl. And in a moment we're going to go to round the houses. Those that can't take it behind, just take it in front again. So forward, side, behind if you can, if not take it in front. Keep it slower if it's too much. It doesn't have to be in time with the music. Change direction. Well done. If you can't quite get it, make up your own thing. As long as it doesn't hurt, you're moving, which is the important thing. If you keep the toes tapping, great. Let's just throw that scarf and catch. Throw the scarf and catch. Throw the scarf and catch. Take it back into your right hand. Finishing off. Follow it with your eyes, change hands. That head moving. If it feels uncomfortable or you feel dizzy, then leave that bit out, that's fine. Last few, just throw it and catch. Well done. This is a marching routine, so you need to hip walk forward on your chair. Start with toe taps. And lift those toes as high as you can. Take it to a jogger's walk, so lifting alternating heels. You can add some arms if you wish, just keep it gentle. Take it to a march, keep those feet low for now, nice and quiet. And again. Now we're going to take it to a V-step, right leg forward, so right, left, bring it back. Change sides to the left. Left foot back in, to the right. And left. Take it up to speed. Add some arms if you wish. If it's too much, then leave the arms out. We're still trying to change the lead leg each time. Joggers walk, you're lifting the heels, basic march, nice light feet. Ready for that V-step, take it out, out, in, change leg. Right side, left side. Heel digs in front, so just pushing that heel out, and an upper arm swing if you wish. Let's march it, 3, 2, 1, and flat. Back to the jogger's walk. So just lifting those heels. And march. Light feet, lifting the whole foot off the ground. That V step, right leg first. Leg, left leg, right leg. Don't worry too much if you can't get the order. Just keep moving. You're still going to be getting the exercise. Beautiful. Well done. Sitting forward in your chair, please ensure you actually move from the hip, not just take the foot out to the side. So the whole knee is moving out to the side with this movement. Out, in. 3, 4, other side. Take it out. 2. Change for 2. And change. Singles. Make it as small as you need to be comfortable. Try and make sure that movement is coming from the hip and the knees taking it out to the side. Let's take it to a box step. Forward, forward, back, change sides. Blade with the left, left, right, right side, right, left, right, left, left. Double time if you can. If that's too much for you, then by all means take it half speed. Change with the arms, so this time just lifting the heels. From the top, taking it out to the side, so 4. Change for 4. 4 again on the right. 4 on the left. 2 each side. Singles. Box step. If you want to go double time, please do. Okay, so we're going to do some work on strengthening our wrists. So it's going to help with opening jars. I had a jar of gherkins I couldn't open properly the other day. So we want some strength in our wrists, opening doorknobs, things like that. So we're going to start there. Arms stay here, elbows in tight, and all the movement's going to come from the hands. I will come forward shortly and show you exactly the movement we're doing. But what you're going to do is slide your hands underneath your band with the band just slightly less than waist width. And then just add a little bit of tension. You're going to pull outwards that way until you've got a little bit of tension. And then what we're going to do is roll that wrist over and back. So I'm going over and back. We're going to alternate sides. So you're keeping some tension on the band. Doesn't matter whether you're seated or standing for this one, we're going to alternate. So I'm going to come a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my hand from this position and I'm rolling it inwards with a band on top. So I'm rolling it in with that band so you can see a little bit better, and out. I'm rolling it in, trying to keep that wrist as strong as possible. So it's working a rotation on the wrist. You're keeping some tension in this band at all times. Doesn't have to be that tight. So it's a rotation at the elbow. The rotation is coming from the elbow, and the bones of the lower arm are twisting over each other to get that movement. But it's going to give you strength in your wrist. Okay, now I'm going to change that, and I'm going to get you to take your hands onto the top. So instead of turning in, this time we're going to turn out. So exactly the same thing. Keep the arms fairly low. Shoulders should be relaxed down. And we're going to take the hand out. And slowly control it back in. Don't just let it flop back in, twisting outwards. So I'll come a little bit closer so you can see. I'm twisting out and coming back in. Keeping some tension in the band at all times, twisting out. You don't have to go the whole way. If that is too tight, take your hands a little bit further apart, which will give you a slightly easier ride when it comes to doing that movement. Getting some movement. Shouldn't be painful. If it's painful, rest or adjust. There we go. A couple more if you can. Well done. Okay, give the arms a bit of a shake out. I'm just going to get you to swing your arms. If you're standing, you can take them across the front like this as well. Not going to work as well if you're seated. Take it both ways. Just let those shoulders relax. Take some tension out of the shoulders, just in case you've been tensing them up. Well done. This time we're going to do a little bit of work on the shoulders. So again, exactly the same position. Hands come underneath. Elbows back in line, and we're going to take both arms out to the side. So again, you're keeping the wrists solid, but this time we're pulling out, and you're going to feel it across your chest. Breathing out as you come out, in as you come back in, keeping a bit of tension in the band. So don't let that band go all floppy. Keep that tension at all times, taking it out, bringing it back in. You've still got that option of making it a bit easier by having slightly wider hands to start with. The elbows are staying close in tight. So as you come out to the side, the elbows stay in. Think of sitting upright. Try and avoid lifting your chest. Think about your posture. So you're not slouching back, you're not arching the back, you're sitting nice and upright, chin retracted. Thinking about our posture throughout the exercise. Okay, let's shake that out. We're going to place the band safely and securely under your feet. If you've got a shorter band, you might need to just make sure that you've got it on one side at a time and flip it round. So let's take the band in your right hand as if you're about to shake somebody's hand. So tail out by the thumb. Elbow in tight to the body, exactly the same as before. Turn sideways a bit so you can see what I'm doing. And there's tension in the band. Not tight, but just enough to not let it flop. And you're going to hold, and then you're going to let the top flop out of the way. Thumb goes towards the shoulder. Doesn't have to touch, doesn't matter if that's as far as it goes. Turn back again. You're just taking that thumb towards the shoulder. Now, what you're going to watch here is that you're not allowing that elbow to come forward. It's not about the elbow, it's bending at the elbow. Upper body stays straight. You're probably going to find a little bit of tension in the shoulder when you're doing this one. If it's too hard, just let that band slip through. If it's too easy, tighten it up a bit. But remember, you're keeping that elbow still. Lovely. Well done. I'm going to take it now over to the other side. So exactly the same. You can stay facing me. If you need to adjust your band, whether you're seated or standing, exactly the same thing again. So taking the hand forward as if you're about to shake somebody's hand. Make sure there's no slack in the band. Elbow in, tight to the body, thumb on the top. And you take that thumb back towards the shoulder. See my elbow stays by my waist. Think about your posture. So you're going to think about engaging your pelvic floor. Lift up as if somebody's pulling you up by a piece of string through the top of your head. That chin's retracted, tummy's engaged, and keep breathing. Breathing out on effort, in as you gradually and gently return the band. So don't just let the arm flop down, you're controlling the movement down as well. Controlling it up and down. A couple more. Well done. And as always, if it's too much, you can stop and rest and join back in, or just stop. You can loosen the grip by taking your hand up the band, or you can make it harder by taking it down the band. And release. Well done. Okay, so I'm going to take us now onto the band out the way, and we're going to do some work on those thigh muscles. I'm going to turn my chair sideways. I'd like you to stay facing me, but I want you to be able to see exactly what I'm doing. So you're going to hip walk forward on your chair. So if you're sitting back, come forward, so that crease between the top of your legs and your bottom is just on the edge of the chair. Make sure your chair is nice and stable. And if you need to use your arms to come up, do, but I want you to try and avoid doing that. I want the ankles directly underneath the knees, weight in the heels, and you're going to come up. Pump the legs. Step back until you know you felt the chair. Grab hold if you need to, and sit back down. Walk forward. Make sure you're nice and safe. If you need to use the arms for a little bit of momentum, do, but ideally take the hands maybe across the chest and come up. Stepping back until you're safely against the chair, sit back down. Now, for those of you that are finding that quite easy, we're going to move it on. If you find that quite hard, you can rest or carry on doing that movement where you're coming back. The next one, you need to be very careful that you don't knock the chair over or you don't miss the chair. So I want you to come halfway forward. So you're not all the way forward, you're about halfway forward on your chair, and you're going to stand up and sit back down. Stand up and sit down. So we're not coming quite so far forward because we want to make sure when you sit back down that you don't miss the chair. Breathing out as you lift up. Breathing in as you sit back down. Breathing out. Breathing in. Now just a quick one. Anyone who really can't do that, if you've got problems with your hips at the moment, you can do the exercise we did last time. We did leg exercises, which is either just lifting and holding the leg up as long as it's comfortable, which might only be a second or so, or even better, straight leg. I'll leave that one up to you. That's your easier option if you can't get that movement to stand. Well done. A little bit of balance work next. So what I'm going to get you to do is stand behind your chair. Now once again, I'm going to stand to the side of my chair because you're going to be able to see a little bit better, but stay facing me. What I want to do today is we're going to do heel raises. Really good at getting the blood flowing back up to the heart from the lower legs. So you're just lifting up onto the toes and back down. If you need to, hold on to the chair. So, easier version, keep going those of you that can. Easier version is sit forward on your chair and just lift and lower. So you're going to get that movement going, but it doesn't put the pressure on your hips. And I'm going to give a harder version for those that want a slightly harder version. And that is, you're going to take one foot forward and just lift, put the toe on the floor. And that's just to help you balance, and you're just going to lift the back leg. So you're barely got any weight in that front leg, or you can even lift it off the floor if you're able to. But we want to concentrate on just getting that one leg going. If you've had enough now, stop, or you can sit down and change to the easier version. Let's change sides. So lift and lower. I'm coming up quite a long way. I've got little feet and quite good balance, but you don't have to come that far. 1/4 of an inch is fine. Just getting that movement going, trying to come straight up and down. Holding that belly in. Try and really be aware of what's going on with those ankles. So as you lift, only come as far as you can without those ankles going out to the side. Obviously really exaggerating there. Lovely. Let's just shake that out. Just while we're here, seated or standing, I just want to relax those shoulders from the previous exercise we did. They should have relaxed a bit while we've been doing the leg work, but just swing those arms out, backwards and forwards, across the front. Just release any tension. Try and avoid hitting a chair. That was a bit uncomfortable for me. With a bit of luck, you were standing behind your chair rather than by the side like me. Lovely. A little bit of stretch now. Taking your right hand onto your left shoulder. And I'm going to get you to let that hand slide. As you catch hold of the fleshy part of the arm, I'm going to give it a push. You can take a stretch across the shoulder. You can do this seated as well. Really is up to you whether you stand or sit for a lot of these exercises. If you're standing, think about your posture. Weight's evenly on both feet. Feet are hip width apart. You're engaging that core, pulling the belly button back towards the spine. This hand is loose. You're not grabbing hold of that shoulder, it's sliding over the top and release. Let's take it the other side. Slide. Just push. And release. Okay. Grab your ball. If you haven't got a ball, you can use a cushion. I'm going to sit down for this one. Doesn't matter whether you're sitting or standing. If you're sitting, make sure you're nice and upright. And we're going to put the hands on the ball. And what I want you to do is press straight fingers in. So I'm going to come close to the camera so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. I'm pushing that finger straight in, one at a time, into the ball. Oh, I forgot the thumb. Let's do the thumb as well. And the other side. So you don't have to hold it up. You can hold it down at waist height. And just push, straight fingers. So we're concentrating one hand at a time to start with. Now let's do the same together. So both sides. And you can have the ball on your lap. If your shoulders are uncomfortable, fine to do that. Okay, now what I'm going to do next, again, even if you've got a cushion, you can do the same with this. I want you to squeeze. So we're squeezing into the ball or the cushion, squeezing in. So we're thinking about the ends of the fingers, just getting some strength in the fingers. Just squeeze, just squeeze. I'm going to come close to the camera again. I'm doing a squeeze. I'm doing a squeeze. If you've got a ball, you might find you have to do one hand at a time. Depends how well your ball is blown up. Mine's got a little bit of softness in it, but not enough to be able to do both. And again, you can keep that on your lap and just release. Let's just do piano fingers. You can take them up and down or just keep them still. Just give them a little bit of a wiggle to release them. Now placing the hands together, and I just want you to, I'm going to come up to the camera again so you can see a little bit better. We're going to take the hands together and stretch them as wide apart as they can. Stretch them as wide apart as you can. Again, you can keep them down low on your lap, but just squeeze and open up across the fingers. You can hold it up like this or have them together. Again, don't be surprised if you don't go as far as me. I've got quite a big span for the size of my hands. And release. Let's do star hands. So release and push. So again, you can push the arms forward if you want. If that's uncomfortable on your shoulders, just keep the hands low. Stretching and releasing. Stretching and releasing. And just wiggle again. Well done. One last little bit of ankle release. So we worked quite a lot on our ankles earlier. So what I want you to do is circle your ankle. So you're going to probably need to sit down for this one. I'm just sticking my hands underneath my knee to support it and circle. If that's really uncomfortable, you can just keep it on the floor and just move it side to side and round one way and the other. But if you're able to, you're going to get much better mobility in the ankle. That's one side, change to the other. It doesn't matter which leg you start with. So again, either circle, or if that's really uncomfortable for you, just move. Try and get the ankle moving in every direction. You can point and flex, you can circle it side to side. getting a bit of mobility and release in the ankles. So we're going to stretch the back of the lower leg, the calf muscle. So hip walk forward in your chair. Make sure your feet are firmly on the ground. And I'm going to ask you to straighten that right leg and then pull the toes back up towards you, flexing the foot, and then slide that heel a little bit further away if you can until you feel the stretch in the back of that lower leg. And we're going to hold that for at least 8 seconds, but preferably closer to 20. If it starts to feel like it's going to cramp, then ease off. But if you can hold it longer, please do. And release. Let's take it to the other side, sliding the left leg away this time until it's straight. Pull the toes back against the body, towards the body. Extend that heel away until you feel the stretch and hold. Now this is going to help keep the mobility and flexibility in your lower body. And if we hold it for a longer period of time, you're going to develop the amount of mobility, the amount of flexibility in that muscle. I'm going to ask you to do that once more on each side. This time we're going to try and hold it a little bit longer if you can. So sliding the leg away, flex that foot up, extend the heel if you can, and hold. The other side, so left leg this time slides away, flex that foot, extend the heel away. And release. If you want to, you can stay seated for this cool down workout. If you do, ignore the instructions for the feet. Exactly the same with the upper body. Taking the feet wider if you're standing. Just take it a little bit, rocking side to side, just tipping onto the toe. I'm going to circle the shoulders back. Just take it at a speed that's comfortable for you. I'm going quite fast, make it slower if you wish. Let's take it now to holding a ball. We're going to take that round. Bringing the feet in now. Go the other way. Keeping this low now, try and keep it below your nose, and we're going to open out into a chest stretch. So feet are comfortable, but ideally your feet pointing forwards. Watch you're not letting your toes point out to the corner of the walls. Let's take it on a diagonal, feeling that stretch. Try and avoid lifting your chest as you do this, opening out on the other direction. Keeping a breath, deep breath out. Okay, we're going to take, palms are coming up. Okay, stay facing me. Just turn so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Again, try not to take the hand above the height of the head. And really concentrate on your breathing here. Think about your posture, pull the belly button back towards the spine. Now, let's take clouds. Imagine clouds going across the sky about forehead height. Or are you wiping your brow because the workout's been too hard today? I hope not. Should have been a gentle workout, but remember, always do your workouts at your level. If it's too much, make the moves smaller. Let's add. We're going to push leaves, so the clouds are going across and we're pushing the leaves. If you find that too much, just stay with the clouds. Think about your posture. Be aware of how you're standing. Okay, let's take the arms in, circling in, and the other way. Keeping the hands low. So just taking the weight slightly from one foot to the other. You might want to take the feet a little bit wider for this. I'm lifting one heel and then the other off the floor as I move. Do what feels comfortable for you. So take a deep breath in and out. Those feet are still pointing forward, engaging the abdominals, so pulling that belly button back against the spine. Circles back, pull those shoulder blades together, breathing in, breathing out. That's all for this week. I look forward to seeing you in the class next week.